Hello everyone, welcome back to the series. In part 14, we have successfully integrated the SAP Document Management Service and uploaded our dynamically generated PDF directly into the BTP cloud. Today, in part 15, we are completing the cycle. We are going to build the logic to retrieve and download those exact files securely from DMS right back into our Fiori application. As the first step, we are going to comment out the doc.save line. But why? Because we no longer want a simple local download. We want to prove our cloud architecture works by forcing the app to upload the file to BTP and then immediately fetch it back from the document management service. For our backend to know exactly which file to fetch later, we have to link the uploaded document to a specific record in our database. So, right before we call our upload function, let's grab the current book's ID. We declare a variable book ID and assign it obook.id from our selected context. Next, we simply pass the book ID as the second parameter into our upload to DMS function call. Now, when the file travels to CAP backend, it carries the exact database ID it belongs to, allowing us to safely store the BTP reference key. Then call a new function download PDF to download the file from the DMS server. Now we need to create the actual download PDF function that catches our file from the BTP backend. Let's define download PDF and pass in our sbook ID as the parameter. The first thing we do inside the function is trigger our UI5 busy indicator. Reaching out to the cloud takes a moment. So showing a loading spinner instantly improves our user experience, so they know the app is working. Next, we call our CAP action using standard fetch API to hit /OData /v4 /document /download PDF. Notice that we are using a post method here, even though we are retrieving data. This is an important rule to remember. OData version 4 actions always require post request. We pass our book ID in the body so the backend knows exactly which file to grab. Then add a validation to check whether we are getting a valid response from the backend server or not. If invalid, then throw an error. If we get a response from the backend server, then we have to stop the busy indicator. When our backend successfully returns the file, we have to handle the response. OData version 4 wraps primitive return types like our base64 string inside a property called value. So we extract our string using data.value. Now we have our base64 string, but a browser can't download that as a PDF directly. We have to convert it back into binary data. We use JavaScript's built-in atop function to decode the string into characters. And then we run a quick loop to convert those characters into a raw array of bytes, a unit 8 array. With our raw bytes ready, we package them into a blob object, explicitly telling the browser that the MIME type is application/PDF. Finally, we trigger the native download. We generate a temporary URL from our blob and create an invisible HTML anchor tag. We set the href to our blob URL, dynamically set the download attribute to give our file a nice name using the book ID, and then programmatically trigger a link.click function. This forces the browser to instantly download the PDF directly from our SAP DMS instance. After all, we can show a toast message that the PDF is downloaded successfully. Now that our frontend is ready to ask for the file, our backend needs a way to actually find it. To do that, we have to update our core database schema. Inside our books entity, we are adding a brand new column called dmsObjectId as a string. With our database schema updated to hold the ID, we need to expose this functionality through our OData service. Let's open our CAP service definition file. And here we have to define our brand new action, download PDF. It takes the book ID as the input, so it knows what to search for. The return type for this function should be a large string. Next, look at our existing upload PDF action. We have to modify it, so now it receives book ID as parameter alongside the file. Our frontend is now sending the ID, and our backend needs to catch it so it knows exactly which database record to update. Now that our database and service definitions are prepared, we need to actually save that ID. Let's head over to our CAP service logic inside catservice.js. Scroll down in your upload PDF function to the exact moment where the upload finishes and SAP BTP hands us back the unique object ID. Right here, before we return our success message to the front end, we are going to inject a quick database update. We use CAP's built-in CQN syntax to await update books. We set our new DMS object ID column to equal the object ID we just got from the cloud. But here is the important part. We add a .where clause to make sure we only update the record where the ID matches request.data book ID, which is the parameter we just passed in from the front end. Now, let's build the backend logic that actually reaches into the BTP cloud and pulls our file down. We start by creating our download PDF custom event handler. First, we extract the book ID that our Fiori frontend just sent us in the request data. Also, initialize another variable repo ID with the repository ID in the same way we did in our upload PDF function. We use that ID to run a kubectl database query. Select .1.from books where ID equal to book ID. We are looking for that specific row, so we can grab the DMS object ID. It is always a good practice to add a safety check here. If the book doesn't exist or if no file was ever uploaded, we return a 4 note for error. This prevents our app from crashing if a user tries to download a missing document. Next, we need to prove to our BTP that we are allowed to access this file. We use the exact same authentication client credentials logic that we used in our upload function to generate a fresh access token. With our token ready, we construct the specific CMIS download URL. We pass in our repository ID, but check out the end of the URL. We add CMIS selector equal to content along with our object ID. This tells the SAP document management service, don't just give me that metadata, give me the actual binary content of this specific file. Now we execute the GET request. But pay extremely close attention here. This is the most critical part of the entire backend. You must include responseType as Arraybuffer in your Axios configuration. If you forgot this, Axios will try to read the PDF as standard text and it will completely corrupt your file. Arraybuffer ensures we receive the pure raw binary data. Finally, we have our binary file. But why not just send it straight to the UI? Because OData doesn't handle raw binary file streams very gracefully inside JSON payloads. To safely transport this file over the internet, we convert the raw binary data into a base64 text string using Node's built-in buffer module. We return that massive string to our Fiori app via our front-end controller, which we wrote earlier, which will decode it and trigger the download. As a final touch, finish it with a catch block. Alright, the code is complete. Let's test this entire flow end to end. I'm going to spin up our server using CDS watch -- profile hybrid, so we are connected to our BTP services. Here we are in our bookshop Fiori application. Let's open up the network tab so we can actually see the magic happening behind the scenes. I will select a book and let's click our download button. The download is not happening. That means we have encountered some error. In the console, it is showing book ID is not defined. Let's fix this first. Here we forgot to add one more parameter. Let's pass the book ID parameter here. We have some more fixes pending to do. Go to your schema.cds file and make the D in dmsObjectId to lowercase. Then use cds deploy to deploy the changes. Go to your upload to DMS function and initialize a variable that whose value is this. At last, go to the cat service.cds file and make the D of book ID to lowercase. Now we can test our app again. As you can see that the PDF file is downloaded successfully now. How it actually works is, first our app generates the file and fires the upload PDF request to securely store it in the SAP Document Management Service and save the ID to our HANA database. As soon as that succeeds, our download PDF request fires. It reaches back into the BTP cloud using the ID we just saved, retrieves the raw binary data, converts it. Browser instantly downloads the PDF straight to our local machine. If we open it, there is our perfectly formatted bookshop report, securely fetched from our enterprise cloud storage.
And that is how you build a complete end-to-end document management architecture in SAP CAPM. You now know how to generate, upload and download files using BTP and Fiori. If this video helped you out, please drop a like, subscribe for more and let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I am Gino, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.